It can be both challenging and rewarding being a business owner. The Business by Design Duo podcast is for business owners looking for inspiration and ideas on how they can elevate their leadership and level up their business and profits. We explore all aspects of business ownership with a particular focus on empowering you to be a stronger leader by providing you with the knowledge to cultivate a positive and productive business culture. So join us, Elaine Richards and Tamara Lloyd, founders of Business by Design Duo, for inspired chats with our favourite business owners to uncover their journey, tips and ideas to help you in business.
Welcome back, Tamara. Lovely to see you. Beautiful sunny day here in Melbourne.
It is gorgeous today and a bit exciting because we're heading towards the end of the year, and this is actually going to be our last podcast for 2023. We can't believe it's almost 2024.
It's crazy to think back of how far we've come in the last 12 months, and yes, quite frightening. Well, we've achieved, this is our 26th episode.
Absolutely, and I think all the things we've achieved in our business and changes and pivots we've made, and I think this is kind of the topic we're going to be talking a little bit about today, isn't it? Reflecting on your year that's been as business owners and also looking at the year ahead and how you can set yourself up for success in 2024.
Yes. How do you feel? 2023, we're almost at the end.
Oh, look, I think there's some areas I'm really look back and go, oh, wow, I've done an amazing job. I'm really proud of that. Other areas I thought, be further ahead in certain areas. But I think the great thing about that is you can take away and look at, have some learnings from both sides of that, what's worked well, what hasn't, and what areas you need to adapt to learn more or connect more with people. I think it's just a great exercise.
For me, it's been a great experience, and I think back to where we first started on our journey as business coaches, post the sale of our business, the courses we've done, the people we've met, and I'm pretty excited as to where we're going to head in 2024. But for our listeners and for you and I think it was a good opportunity to stop and look at where we've come from and encourage business owners to reflect on their wins, their losses, what they've learnt from this year, and really take note of that and set themselves up for great achievements and potential opportunities and be open to new beginnings in 2024. So
absolutely. And I think one of the first things that, we've kind of done a bit of that today before this podcast, we sort of sat down and did a bit of reflection ourselves. And I think that this is probably a great place for everyone to start in looking to plan forward, is doing that reflection themselves. And I do think the things that maybe didn't go your way, it's not necessarily negative. It's a way of learning, growing. What could you have done different, better, and then you improve from that. If everything always goes smoothly, you're probably not pushing yourself hard enough. So, or you're not trying hard enough or not trying different things. So for us, we've tried so many new things this year, and a lot of them have worked really well. There's a few that have fallen a bit flat, but we've gone, okay, well, how can we adapt that? And I think that's the piece, isn't it, for looking at the year ahead? How can you adapt those things to make them better?
We also had a discussion yesterday around getting outside your comfort zone and lacking confidence in certain areas. But again, to reflect back on the year that we've had together, we have certainly, as always, thrown ourselves out there and tried new things. Like here we are doing 26 podcasts. It's not something I love doing or it's really in our comfort zone, but we've done it and I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but definitely wouldn't have thought at the start of last year that we would be doing anything like this.
No, and I probably enjoy them more. I think for us, I don't know, I think probably what you're saying is the setting up of it is more challenging and then coming up with a topic and ideas. Once we're in it, we really enjoy it. I think when we're talking to each other, when we're just having a chat, that's the fun bit. It's the coming up with the concepts and,
the content.
Yeah, all that side of it.
Planning.
Yeah.
Something we're going to do better next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes, I think as a first thing, identify as a business owner and the business strengths and weaknesses, areas you can improve, and just simply write those things down, because that then leads, I think, into the next area.
Yeah, a clarity of vision and goal setting for 2024. What does it look like? How do you want to, or what goals do you want to achieve? What do you not want to do? But really plan it out and look at, where you want to go and how you're going to get there, and really write it down, because once it's out of your head and on paper or on your whiteboard, I think you really truly understand what it is that you're after and how you're going to go about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the clarity of vision part, I feel that we just need to focus on that a little bit, because that may not be something that business owners actually have, which might be surprising for those that have it and it's super clear, but really spend some time thinking about how you want your business to look in the long run, how you want your life to look in the long run, and then working back from there. That's how you set your goals and do your planning, is based on that clear vision. If you haven't got a clear vision, if that's blurry, take the time over hopefully what is a break that you're having for a week, 2 weeks or more, and use some of that time to get that clarity right around your business and have it crystal clear, so that everything else you can then help fall in place. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit wishy-washy.
How would you recommend they do that?
I think certainly writing things down, but I think it's a process. I don't think you can just sit down and go, oh, here's my clear vision. That can take days, weeks, months, years for some people to really have that clear vision of what they want to achieve in life and business. And often the two are intertwined, because your business, how you want your business set up is sort of relevant to how you want your personal life set up a little bit, around potentially having a certain level of balance, having potentially an income coming in while you're not having to be there full time. Obviously everyone's different. So it's getting that clarity. I do think the two are kind of intertwined as when you're a business owner, because that's kind of the whole point. You hopefully, you think people go into business to give them choices in the long run. Obviously in the early days, it's a lot of hard work and setting up and all the rest of it. But as you progress, you hope that they have systems set up and things like that, so they don't need to be there fully all the time. Well, that's, I guess, as an entrepreneurial style business, that's kind of usually the goal.
So you've mentioned in several podcasts about if money wasn't any object, and Ross was great at allowing you the opportunity to think big and look at the end goal and then work your way back. I guess, would I be correct in saying that if you were to sit down and write a list of all the little niggly things or things that you didn't enjoy, that didn't work well for you, put them in one column, and then your ideal plan in another of like you mentioned, work-life balance and having the luxury of having your business ticking over nicely and you not having to be there every day, and then try and meet in the middle, I would think.
Yeah, look, I think that can be a way to do it. I feel that there's probably different processes for different people and different personality types or archetypes, as we're getting to know a little bit more, which we'll talk about a bit more in the year ahead. But
I'm just trying to help our listeners.
Yes,
if they're really
I know. I'm just thinking, so how
position.
I've personally done it, and then I guess that is to just put it out there that I want that clarity of vision, and then I might go to bed thinking about it, I might wake up thinking about it, and just allow myself the opportunity to not rush the process. For me, when I initially bought the real estate business, I wanted it set up so that I didn't have to. The vision was that I wasn't having to do the listing and selling all the time, that I have a team, that we build a team, that would be a positive environment to work in, that eventually I'd be able to sell that rent roll and give a nest egg sort of thing. So that they were the sort of the visions, and give me choices, which I feel is where I've gotten to, but it's never the end of the journey. There's always then the next. Now
absolutely.
We've got the new vision of the new business and where we're going now. So I think for me, it's just letting it sit a little bit and fester. I mean, yes, write some things down, but then keep coming back to it. But maybe for other people it's different. I mean, what about yourself?
Well, a little bit similar. I feel now's a bit different. I wanted to take a step back because when we did have the business, I was always on. So I wanted to, and for me, I had a little bit more risk with my health, with my eyes. So that's always in the back of my mind. So making sure that all the decisions I make are protecting me financially and still allowing me the opportunity to work and to be doing something that I enjoy doing. I guess looking back and the decision I made now, I wanted to be more present in my family network and not constantly consumed by work. And I think I've achieved that. Took a long time, but, not everyone has that luxury though. So I guess you're right. Everyone's different. So moving forward, I'd like to have consistency in my life, day in, day out, if that's possible. I'm probably going to try and be more of an explorer and plan ahead and
that's a reference to an archetype for those.
But also, to be a bit more kinder to myself. Yeah, so I probably 2024 for me is going to be a bit more personal growth, I think, and development.
Excellent.
But I think ensuring that your goals align with the long-term vision, and they must be realistic because you don't want to set yourself up for failure.
Well, I think your bigger picture can be out there, but I think the steps along the way, it's just you're unlikely to get there in 1 year, There was something I read, you usually overestimate what you can achieve in 1 year but underestimate what you can achieve in 3 years.
I think that's Ross.
Oh, no, but I think it came from somewhere else.
Sure
I think Ross maybe Ross said it, but I think, thank you, Ross. We're noting you again. You'll love that. But I feel that I've seen it somewhere else as well, and he's probably pinched it. But, look, if it was him, good on you. But I think that's so true, though. You think, oh, I'm going to do all this. And, like, even to look at us and what some of our goals are. Some of them, and I'm looking at some of them on the wall now because we do write things up. And then some of them we're probably going to hit, and other ones have been a little bit ambitious. And maybe some not ambitious enough. So,
but working with you, Tam, it's always been a big goal. And another reference, the big, hairy, audacious goals. I think I love that.
Yeah,
we've always had them, and you've got to have goals that you can, really shoot for the stars, but other ones that you can definitely achieve,
and that resonate with you. That you have to be authentic to yourself. And authentic, that comes in through in your business if you're authentic, not doing what you think other people want you to do. So, I think that's that clarity of vision, and then from there setting the goals for the year ahead is an important part of planning for next year and beyond.
Yes, absolutely.
And then go on.
I was just going to say develop a strategic plan. So plan ahead as to what you want to achieve in your personal life, but also in your business. And we used to do that on a calendar year with our team, and we would plan every event and, make sure you put it out there, and it might be functions for yourself, your staff, your business, your clients, and ensure that you stick to them.
Well, it's for example, we would have client movie nights, we would have internal training, quarterly awards, annual awards, and then smaller things to plan, I think, is how is your meeting structure going to work for the year ahead with your team? So your KPI meetings or one-on-ones, how you're going to structure that each week and each month. Start with
your planning day at the start of the year.
Planning day, absolutely. And do you plan to have one of those or two of those? Who's going to be involved? So as you said, it's like mapping out a calendar for the year, and then we would usually look at things such as school holidays, and avoid certain dates. A lot of our staff had young children, so avoiding maybe school holidays, looking at when maybe key staff were on annual leave for certain things that we might be doing.
We also did our auctions because at the time in our business we were doing online auctions, so setting them out for the team so that they knew exactly when we were going to do those. We would then book the auctioneer and make sure that they could book their clients' auctions in on those dates.
And particularly if we were doing an auction spectacular that we might be working towards, and there might be other things like that in our listeners' business, the bigger things that you plan towards. It might, you might work your sales team towards that or whatever the case might be.
You and I used to book our business coach over the years, a year out, and we'd sit down and we'd put them in our diary with Ross and set ourselves up for when we wanted to catch up, but also with our vision, we would plan ahead on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that strategic plan, it's kind of the fun bit. It can be a bit tricky trying to fit everything in, but I think it gives you it organises you, and your team are really clear on what to expect, and also those that help organise those things, what they need to be doing and when. And we would print them out. We'd have them done up nicely. We'd print them all out in A3, laminate them, and and it also had all our financial targets on, because obviously we're a sales type orientated business. So financial targets monthly, as well as the growth targets for our property management. So that was stuck on everyone's desk, and it was always there.
We also did a marketing one, Tam, didn't we? So with our marketing lady, we would sit down and, again, plan it as best you can with what's around, January with Australia Day or Christmas, footy tipping, grand final.
Father's Day.
Yeah. So you start with that.
Donut Day, Dog Day, bring his dog to work day.
Tamara Lloyd's Amazing Day.
Yeah. That was every day, wasn't it?
But that once you have that, it's a great way to then feed everything into your plan for the year.
Well, it just helps you have that's part of having a clear vision. It was like, okay, Sharon, we've got, Donut Day coming up next week. Are you going to organise that? Or
MasterChef cook-off that we
yes,
used to do?
We did. That was so much fun.
But I think it helps your staff because then they think, oh, okay, I'm a bit organised.
And I think they can get excited. They can say, oh, these business owners have a vision. They've got a plan for us, and we know what's coming up. So it gives them confidence in you and the business, and they're working for a progressive business that's got exciting things happening.
And the other thing is, if you're not doing these things, you're going to miss opportunities.
100%.
So then you're always going to be chasing your tail. So planning is the best key to move.
And just, it's funny because during, for those of you that aren't in Melbourne, like Melbourne was the highest lockdown city in the world, or the longest lockdown city in the world. Don't get me started.
Can you not remind me?
Sorry. But what we found, because it kind of went on for a year and a half or something,
2 years.
we became it was so frustrating because we couldn't do all our events and things that we wanted to do. And I'm sure a lot of other business owners and employees were feeling the same. There were so many start-stops. Oh, we plan this. Oh, I have to cancel it, particularly if you're in Melbourne. And it just became so refreshing when we could come out of that again and start actually planning things, and how excited we were to see all these wonderful events that we could be doing and connecting with our staff and our clients, and, just also the fun things. So don't take it for granted. And I think you can get stale. I think we felt stale when we come out of there because we had done so minimal socialising.
We also had trouble with people who didn't want to interact, because for 2 years that was taken away from them. So it took them a while to warm to wanting to do these things. And I don't know about you, Tam, but when you walk around the shopping centres and you see, we're obviously heading towards Christmas, there's a bit more excitement and it's a happy time, and it's nice to see given where we've come from.
Absolutely.
Moving on, for our listeners, the next one was the overall visual of your business and your working environment, something that a lot of business owners may or may not have taken in.
Yeah.
And we're referring to how the office space feels, or it might be your shop or whatever, and what the experience is for yourself, your team and your clients. So we would often have a lot of plants around our office. Sometimes it might be over the time that we were together, we would have the fruit bowls at
candles,
receptions.
We'd paint, if things were looking a bit tired, we'd give it a fresh paint, new artwork. We did a renovation at one point.
Obviously signage is something to be mindful.
I think that's a really good one. Stand out if you've got an office or a shop where people come into, you're not working from home, whatever, go on the outside, stand over the road from your shop or office and have a look and see what other people see. What does your signage look like? Is it fresh? Are there cobwebs all over your building? Does it need a fresh coat of paint? Are your windows dirty? Do you get your windows cleaned regularly?
Your doormat. Is it shaggy looking? And
are there fingerprints all over the door? Like, whose responsibility is to keep these things looking fresh on a daily basis? And, are you getting your windows cleaned monthly? Do your gutters need clean? Like, there's so many things, So we had a rubbish bin out the front of our office and a seat. You'd get some interesting characters parked there at times, but sometimes they'd leave special gifts for you, we'll call them that, and things like that. Just making things are put in the bin, just having that pride in how your office looks from the outside, as well as the experience of the staff on the inside, their own environment, their desks. We had the humidifier, what are they called? Purifiers, particularly during COVID.
Another great time of the year to have a clean out of your office environment and make sure you're starting the year with a fresh space. Obviously, fridges.
Yeah, fridges.
We had 3 or 4 fridges in our office, and
some of them grew legs occasionally.
They certainly did. But, strip it out, give it a good clean. We used to start the year with a clean office. We'd go in and
But remember we would do it like at the end of the year, we'd say, okay, on this day everyone can come in casual clothes and we're doing a clean up. We'd get either a little skip or a trailer or something and we just clean out, purge the office just to make sure it was all fresh, as you said, for the year ahead and, get carpets steam cleaned, those sort of things.
It's really important.
Yeah.
What else?
Oh, this is a fun one. I'm going to leave this one up to you.
I just want to mention something, Tam. When we're doing business coaching, we're going to different office environments. I encourage business owners to get a second opinion on how that office environment is
that's a good call. Yeah.
For their clients and their staff, because what you think might be a welcoming, nice, pleasant environment.
Can I share an experience when you finish?
May not necessarily be okay for everyone. And being mindful of your team, who's who in the zoo, what you've got. It's going to be a diverse environment with male, female, whatever. What it is that's not making sure that nothing's offensive.
Okay, there's a couple of points there.
Masculine,
yes,
or
so
too
you know
feminine.
where I'm going. So we walked into a particular office, and obviously we're 2 women, and we both do like things that are aesthetically pleasing. But we worked in this particular office, and look, maybe I can be a little bit too honest sometimes. I did mention to the principal, who hasn't returned my call, that his office was looking
business owner,
that his office was looking extremely masculine and didn't have any life to it, and maybe he needed to get some plants and some artwork. And I could see the staff sort of nodding, but yeah, obviously he didn't agree with me, but it just felt so cold and it smelled like stale fish and chips.
Exactly my point. Yeah. So imagine though,
but rather than taking it on, he's probably offended by my honesty and
possibly, but absolutely smack on, Tam. Like if you had that experience and we both walked out of there.
I wouldn't go and work there because it felt so
But we
cold.
both had the same opinion and we both shared that together without, you know what I mean? We were literally like, at the same time. Imagine the staff in that environment. Imagine the clientele that's coming and going. Surely they would pick up on that.
Yeah,
so
it didn't feel welcoming
a few
at all.
small tweaks to that could make it a really, really beautiful environment.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just sharing with our listeners to have a think about that. And odour is a big one. Like, I mean, I hated that we had to walk down, the incense smell down Main Street. I hated having to walk down past that every day.
Yeah.
That would drive me insane.
There's also another business that we've been in that's got certain they're meant to be motivational things on the wall that probably
could scare people off.
That I personally found a little bit offensive. I guess it depends on your culture, but it depends on the type of culture you're trying to create as well. And this is a good business and a good business owner, but just feeling that it might isolate some of the staff a bit. I won't go into detail there, but I think just have a look around and I like the idea of getting other people's opinion on it.
Well, it doesn't hurt. You got nothing.
I'm going to leave this one to you. This is really
right up my alley.
Right up your alley.
I think you should always analyse financially where you are placed in your business. You should be reviewing your budget and what you want to spend on certain areas inside your business for the year ahead, and do an audit
of your expenses.
Because over the years we've been able to save a lot of money, and I think
you have been able to.
Well, this is probably one of my strengths, one of your weaknesses, but as a business owner, I highly recommend it. And we're here to make money. We're not here to burn money.
No, 100%.
And we work so hard. So why would you not be smart about it?
100%. And what we've done this week, ourselves, and this is the best way to do it, I think, just go through your account and all the subscriptions that you have that you no longer use, and in your personal life as well. You inspired me to do that. You know, there's so many different subscriptions you have, and there's probably 20% of them that you don't actually use anymore, or you don't even know what they're for.
You forget about it.
Or you signed up for a free thing, they made you put your credit card in, and then suddenly you're getting charged $28 every month.
Yeah, so you should go into your phone and check your iTunes subscription and see what you've got going out there. But look, absolutely, I know I used to rub you up the wrong way about this, but a smart business owner will do this, analyse and review regularly. And also don't be afraid to ask for a better deal.
Oh, 100%. And I think, you know, with the budgets, what we're referring to is you might have a training budget, a marketing budget, you know, entertainment budget. What is it that you want to spend on those things? And if there's people in certain departments that control those things, they know, okay, well, I've got a budget of $2,000 a year to spend on decorations for all the different things that we do, or whatever it is, or training budgets, $5,000, $10,000 a year, or $100 a person, whatever it is. So, yeah, I think
the last thing though you want to do is get to a point in the year and you're like, oh, I've got no money left for that, or because you didn't plan for it.
Yeah.
So to be smart about it, divvy it up over the areas inside your business. And it needs to be reviewed every year. So, but auditing you can certainly do whenever you feel you need to, because obviously business fluctuates. So.
At least once a year, if not more. I mean, it's something that I think you implemented a lot better than I did, and it's has saved us a lot of money over the years. I'd rather do my pocket than in
absolutely, and
Apple's pocket, or
certainly review your insurance policies and things like that.
Yeah.
Last one, Tam.
Yes, a staff plan. So looking at the growth or maybe the restructuring that you might be needing to do in the year ahead. Could be growing, or maybe you're removing a department, whatever it is. Look at how your business is going to look structure-wise, and then what staff you're going to need to look to employ. Are there some that you may need to make redundant? You know, whatever it is, have a bit of a plan for what the year ahead looks like, and you can plan for that. So if you know you need and I'll use the real estate example, 2 property managers, and you know that they can be hard to recruit, you might start talking to people or building relationships, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 months out, so you're not going in cold when you desperately need
grooming
someone.
Them.
Yeah. So I think, you know, if you can plan out what you want the year ahead to look like, and also plan out the structure of your departments, because that, as you grow, there's a good chance that might need to change. I think that's a really good thing to do it ahead, because then you might meet someone and you think, oh, I know in 3 months' time I'm going to be looking for a person like this. You might just bring them on a couple of months earlier than planned, but you've got the right person, because in your mind you already know that you're going to need that person in 3 months' time.
And you've done your budget analysis, so you know that you can financially afford to have them.
Yes, because you cancelled all those silly subscriptions.
Smart woman.
Yeah, I'm learning. Slow learner.
It's actually a really great point, because we certainly did that as an example in our property management department, because we had our goals for what we wanted to achieve, the number of properties under management, how that looked, and the structure of the management of that, and what we needed to staff-wise to achieve that. Otherwise, the wheels would have fallen off and we would start losing business. So that's really important, staff planning. Yeah,
100%. So I think that there's a million different things you can do to plan for the year ahead, but hopefully that gives you a few key areas as business owners that you can consider, and put a bit of a plan together. And I think also get excited about your business. And I think we mentioned it, but having some sort of planning day, whether it's for all your team, your management team, or maybe just the 2 business partners. But and this even just going through this process can be a mini planning day in itself. So but taking that time out of your business to do those things.
I'm looking forward to our planning day tomorrow.
Yes, me too.
Have we locked that in?
No, but let's do it after this. Okay,
great. But we did sit down and do a bit of a plan for what we wanted over the next 2 months.
We actually did something briefly before this.
Yeah. So, and I feel better in myself just knowing that the direction we're heading, and that what you've got to do and what I've got to do. So,
yep.
Highly recommend it.
100%. Well, it'll be a weight off your shoulders, I think.
It will be.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd like to thank you, Tamara, for being with me in our little podcast for,
it's been
for
my
2023.
pleasure, and thank you.
And I hope our listeners have enjoyed what we've provided, and looking forward to a very successful 2024 and the introduction of the archetype and the leadership, how that all comes together. And we'll introduce that in the new year. I think our listeners will really love that. But I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and certainly to our listeners.
Yes, and you too, and to families, and hope it's a safe one and a positive and fun one. You can come in fresh in the new year.
Absolutely. And to any of our listeners that would like to reach out to us and share any questions or topics for the year ahead, or have any questions around, setting themselves up for 2024, please do so. Give us a call, drop us an email. We'd love to assist. But thank you, Tamara. And
thank you.
I look forward to a couple of weeks break, and we'll be back bigger and better than ever in 2024.
We will. Take
you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in, and congratulations on getting to the end. If you loved this episode, why don't you hit the subscribe button, share this podcast with a friend, and leave a review. Reviews and referrals are the best way to help a small business. If you are interested in downloading any of our free business resources, go to businessbydesignduo.com.au and click on the Business Resources tab. We're Elaine and Tamara, and we can't wait to have you back for our next episode. You can connect with us on socials, Business by Design Duo, or go to our website, businessbydesignduo.com.au. Have an amazing day.